Did you think the Black Friday sales were over? Not yet. Today we're going to take a look at an awesome deal from BRIDNA. This is the PPS2000, 2000 watt solar power generator and a 200 watt panel that goes along with it when we come back. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know I'm a big advocate of this type of power when your power goes out, no matter what the reason is, be it a natural disaster, worldwide terrorist attack, earthquake, nuke, whatever. Definitely an advocate of this type of power now because it's a whole lot easier to use and you can use it almost anywhere. Now this guy here is a 2000 watt portable power station. It can be charged from a variety of sources including solar. It can provide multiple outputs, AC, USB, all that. Whereas a gas or diesel generator only has one way to power it, and that's with more gas or diesel, which eventually could run out. May not. You may have a 500-gallon tank in your backyard. Eventually it's going to run out, where I can stick a solar panel outside with this and keep this running pretty much indefinitely. So all power stations, including this one, are essentially battery boxes with various inputs and outputs. But this one has a very big battery. This does weigh quite a bit. It's around 50 pounds. Okay. The design on it is a matte black plastic. Some nice rounded corners here and two big handles on the top, so it is easy to lift. The front display, let's give you a look at that front display. It does turn on with the overload. Don't worry, that's supposed to be there. Okay, this is a big clear marked section here. You've got bright silver buttons for pretty much anything you need to turn on. Maybe somebody with reduced vision, something like this would be very, very handy if you have a bit of a vision impairment. Very easy to see. Somebody who's older, very, very handy. I know for a fact this turns on my USB. I don't have to mess with it. Now you will hear the fan. That runs for about a minute after you turn the unit on. It's automatic. It does it. It's not horrible. It is a little bit loud, but it's not bad at all, okay? You do have vents on either side of these. That's where your air is circulated from. And you do have this big rubber cover here. Now again, would I put this out in a pouring rainstorm? No, but if I spill some water on it, I'm not going to worry because this seals it up nicely. And these are your inputs over here. You'd have a battery EXT. Now, they haven't said anything about an external battery, but it does look like in the future they are planning to make this so you can connect several batteries to it. You do have your AC plug there and your circuit breaker. I showed you the XT60 plug. Now, that's 60 volts, 10 amps max coming in. Okay. Seal that back up. And there's really nothing on the back but a bunch of stickers and some information on the station itself. So all in all, really nice looking power station. Very well put together, very well made. Now, when I get one of these that I don't know the name of, I like to run it and test it out and make sure that I'm, suggesting something worthwhile to you guys. I've had this for about, I want to say 2 weeks now, and I have tested the heck out of it. I've tried every high drain device, and we're going to try some new ones today, so I'll definitely check it out with you. But I want to show you how well this thing works with high drain devices. Now, to operate this thing is fairly simple. You're just going to long press on the power button here, and you'll see your screen here with all your info. There is a Wi-Fi option. Unfortunately, I don't have 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is 5G, and there is no 2.4 option, okay? So I can't connect to the app, but it does have an app. I have downloaded the app. The app seems to work pretty well. So you do have that option on there. You do have your power system here. You can turn your USB on and off on this end. You have a DC regulated 12-volt plug, okay, 12 amps max on that. You do have an AC turn on here, so you turn on your AC ports. And the nice part about this is literally you're turning them on and off. There's none of this hold and press for 3 minutes, none of that. No, it just works. You can turn on and off your eco mode. Very important if you're running things like, say, a refrigerator, that you want to turn off your eco mode. Because what happens with your refrigerator? Well, it gets to the right temperature and then it shuts off. Refrigerators can be off, per se, for an hour. Well, eventually this is going to turn off, and then you get these people that do these reviews on these and go, oh, it's junk, it turned itself off, and it never turned back on. Everything in my fridge is spoiled. Well, that's because you got the eco mode on. You got to turn that off. Now, with the eco mode, it will reduce battery consumption to some extent, okay? So if it's below 2 watts, the device automatically shuts down after 1 hour on the eco mode. So that's kind of cool, too. I do like that, and I do like the fact that you do have that option but you don't need to use it all the time. So really quickly, let me give you some charging times. And these worked out to be about right, honestly. I kind of coordinated them with what I found and what they said. So quick charging mode, 1.5 to 2 hours. That will charge it up all the way. Your normal charging mode will be about 4 or 5 hours on this. Silent charging mode with no fan going, about 7 to 8 hours, okay? Your DC car charging, that's all off of AC. Your DC car charging, 12 volt charging is about 14 to 16 hours. 24 volt, which this can accept, will be about in 7 to 8 hours. Now, solar, really quickly. 200 watt panel will fully charge this in under 12 hours. A 400 watt panel will fully charge it in under 6 hours. Now remember, those are reference only, really. Actual usage time and charge time will depend on how much power you're using and how much sun you're getting or how much battery life is in your battery that you're charging this off of. So there are a lot of variables. That's just to give you a rough idea. Now, another neat feature on this is you can use this as a UPS, okay? So this will be, you're going to turn on the power station, then you turn on the AC output, and the UPS AC will be on in display. This does do pass-through charging, by the way, too. So if you have to use this while you got a solar panel outside or while you're charging it up, you can do that. So it will show a UPS AC on the display, and in that mode, the power will directly support loads in the AC output ports and not touch the batteries. Just keep the batteries topped off. The minute this thing turns off, I believe it's 0.2 milliseconds, this thing will turn back on and give you power to whatever device you're using. So let's say you got a laptop on this and you don't want to lose your work when the power goes out. Well, when the power goes out, the battery takes over and these ports will be active. So that is very, very cool. All right, let's try a few things out on this first. We are going to charge it. First, I want to do is plug it in and charge it. Okay, I want to show you what it charges up like from an AC wall plug. Then we're going to try some things on it first, because right now it's at 70%. I really haven't topped it off since I've been playing with it. We're going to charge it up a little bit on the regular wall charger. I'll show you how that works, and then we'll try some heavy drain devices. Okay, to start off with, I want to show you what it will come with. You're going to get your XT60 to the MC4 connector adapter for any solar panel. You're going to get your car plug here. Okay, and remember, if you're going to charge this on your vehicle, make sure your vehicle's running. And lastly, you're going to get your AC wall plug. The nice part about this is there's no power brick, there's no power adapters. You just simply turn this sideways and plug it in and charge it. So let's get it charging up, and I'll show you what that looks like. So if you can see the display over here, you've got 515 watts coming in, okay? 70% charged, and it will be fully charged in 1 hour. Okay, I do really like the display. One of the things that's nice about it is it makes it easy to understand what's going on, including how much power remains, how much is coming in and out, and what features are currently activated. So the organization of the front display is very clear, and you can have a light over here. You can turn that on if you want. Okay, it's very bright. There you go. So you do have a light in front too to see what you're doing. Again, I don't know how they could do this, but I almost wish that when they put lights on the power stations, that they put like some kind of visor over them. Maybe something that could fold out so it shine down on the item instead of shining you right in the eyes. Now, when you're charging this, you will notice there's a blue glowing kind of glow down here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it on camera. So that will let you know that it is being charged up. So we're going to let this run a little bit and charge up. I'm going to give you a little last information on this before we start testing it, okay? This is a lithium iron phosphate battery, so you will have lots and lots of recharges available on this here. It does power up to 2,000 watts. It has a peak of, I believe, 4,000. So if you get something that spikes at 3,500, when you turn it on and then drops down, this will be able to handle it no problem. We are going to kind of push it a little above the 2,000 and see if that will work, but all in all, it's a 2,000 watt unit, and so far everything I've tested on it works perfectly. Now, they do have some suggestions for you. First off, don't stack anything on the top of the unit. You want as much free airflow around the unit as possible. You don't want to, if you're using this in an RV, say, you don't want to jam it in a corner and close it up, and you want airflow. All right, and also too, when the battery capacity drops to 20%, they want you to charge it up to 80% and store it about 80 to keep your battery life as long as possible. So we're going to let this run a bit. As I've been running my mouth here, we're already up 1%. We're going to let this run a bit, and then we're going to test out some devices on it. All right, so first off is going to be our old reliable heat plate here. This thing can kill most smaller solar generators. So let's turn on the AC. Okay, the AC is on. We're going to click this on and see what happens and move that cord away. There we go. So we got 1,028 watts on that, 1,030. And I'm waiting until everything settles down and gives me a good reading on about how long. The average for this in most of the power stations I've tried is usually about an hour. And this is no different, 1.1 hours. That's doing pretty well. I can feel the heat coming off it already. But now we're going to add something else to the mix. Let me go grab my heat gun here. And I am going to try it on low, and then I'm going to put it on high because I know over high this does 1,000 watts or over. I want to see how it handles that little bit of overage. I got to move this over here like that so I don't get it across this. Move that out of the way there. Put it that way. There we go. Okay, we're going to put this on low. See how it handles it. Now we're at 1,400, 1,500, and you can hear the fan kicked on high in here. Okay. Now I'm going to try and take it over 2,000 watts. If it doesn't, if it overloads, that's not the fault of this. This is a 2,000 watt power station. There we go. It's coasting right along. 2027. So obviously, no worries there. I did take it back down to low. So obviously, it can handle that. Very, very cool. All right. Let's try out some other stuff here too. Now, something I did want to test, I always like to test out the USB plugs here really quickly. We'll test those out. And there was one thing I did forget to mention. We were talking about having it set up for your RV. Well, this does have a specific port for that. It has the TT30R port over here. So you can use that in your RV to power your RV. These are my little emergency lights. And as you can tell, they work quite well. It's got the nominal little 4 watt, 5 watt output on that. So definitely doing its job just like normal. There is one last thing I want to do before we do another final test. And that's to make sure that this is a pure sine wave inverter. Of course, I know it is, but I want to show you guys. So let me go get my meter out and let's try it out. As you see, we're getting a nice, steady, smooth wave over there. Now they do say that you should always test this under load. So we're going to put this on low, the heat gun. And absolutely no difference in the sine wave whatsoever. So you are getting a really nice pure sine wave inverter there. Great for your sensitive electronics. All right, let's try one last thing before we charge this up on solar. All right, so this is where something really, like, for me, comes into play here. Charging up radios. Okay, these are just my radios that are kind of my handout radios. They're FRS radios for say a neighborhood watch type situation. I just hand everybody out. And I do have a gang charger here. It charges them all up at once. And it seems to be doing quite well. No issues at all. So very, very cool. I'm very pleased with this so far. Let's get it outside. Let's get some solar power into it and see how that works. So far we talked about the power station, but we haven't talked much about the solar panel. This is also part of the deal. There's a 200 watt solar panel. The cell efficiency on it is about 22.6%. Weight on it's about 9.5 pounds. You've got about 65.7 inches by 20 inches unfolded and 17 by 20 inches folded. And it's an IP rating of 68, so you can get wet. You don't have to freak out. Of course, you don't want to put these things out in a flood, but it can get wet. So what we're going to do here is pop this little guy, pop the power station behind it and see what kind of charge we're getting off it. The white thing on there is mine. That's just to make sure I have it in the perfect angle. So let's get it back there and try it out. All right, so here we go. I got it set up. You can see the panel there, power station here. I'm going to try and move in on you here. Hopefully you can read that. So I'm getting 169 watts, 171. Definitely very efficient for a 200 watt panel. Got about 4.9 hours before it's fully charged. It's at 69% now. 170 watts. So you see, not only is the power station good, but that panel is pretty darn efficient too. Now we do have some really nice conditions today. It's very nice and sunny out. And I have it at the perfect angle too. So, this is probably the best case scenario. But definitely working well. Let's let it run for a while, and we'll bring you back inside and finish up the video. So in a good 15 minutes out there, I managed to go from 69% to 72%. I am going to top this thing off for my own personal use when I'm done with the video, and probably just do that via the plug in the wall, the AC plug. But I got to say, this thing's impressive. It's really impressive. I have been messing around with this now for a couple weeks. I've been trying to make it fail. I mean, you know, within reason. Trying to go over 2,000 watts. It still handles it very well. I wouldn't run like 3,000 consistently on it, but, you know, you saw when we got over 2,000 before, there was no hesitation, no stoppage, no breakdown, nothing like that. So, gotta say, this thing is really impressive, and the price on it is pretty darn amazing. Now, they do have a Black Friday deal going, and like I said in the intro, you didn't think Black Friday was over yet, did you? So the deal is, this setup here was $1,699.20. It is now $1,189.44. So really, really, really good deal on this. I was really shocked to see. I know that's close to what, $500 off or so. You know, that's a pretty darn good deal. All in all, can't beat it. A very quality, decent power station. Does what it's supposed to do. Nice big inputs and buttons and everywhere. Very positive clicking stuff. You know, you're not trying to figure out what something is. When you want to turn USB on, you just push it. There's no push and hold. There's none of that weird stuff that some of the other power stations have that kind of drives me a little crazy. You know, you have to push and hold this 3 seconds and let go and that. And all in all, awesome unit. My only disappointment was not being able to do the Wi-Fi, but that's my own system that I have here. That's not the fault of this. This needs to be connected to a 2.4 gigahertz system, and mine is 5G, so can't do it, 5.8 gigahertz. So I can't do it. I just don't have the connection on it. But that's kind of a bummer, but hey, it's not their fault. You know, that's just something that I've run into with a few other items too. But I did download the app. The app is very simple to use. It does require registration. I feel they could have left that one out. Just to run a power station, you shouldn't need to register it. But all in all, pretty darn cool. So, link will be down below to check out there. You can check out that link down there. Don't forget to check out all our other links down there as well, our Amazon affiliate store. Again, if you don't want to shop in the store, just click that link and shop as you normally would. It's an excellent way to help out the channel. It doesn't cost anything to do. Our freeze-dried wholesalers link. I have a video coming up for them soon, so stay tuned. That's going to save you 15%, that link. Just clicking that link and shopping, 15% off. Our My Patriot Supply link, that's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. You can get amazing deals on some food storage items, as well as if you click the little logo on the top left hand of the page, all sorts of other survival gear at preparewithiridium.com. And of course, our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. I thank you guys for hanging out with me today and testing this unit out. Really, really like it. Stay safe and stay prepared.